All right, we're back with our very special guest, up and coming relationship expert, book author of two books that are really great reads. Our good friend, Mr. Terry Duran, is here. Terry's a very truthful and honest guy. He's been married for 15 years, but Terry's got a background on him, and you know, but I think it adds to the fiber of who we are as people. Everybody has a backstory, you know what I'm saying? So Terry's here tonight to talk to us about why dating sucks in today's society. That's a hard pill to swallow. And you're a married man telling us this. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel that way. That's the sentiment that I get from the general public. From the people that are anxious to be in relationships, their experiences with dating have caused them to feel that dating is this super negative thing and something that they want to avoid. But that really kind of contradicts what we are, how we actually are as humans.
Okay.
We're naturally social beings. We naturally want to be around other people, especially other people that we find attractive, that find us attractive as well.
Okay.
So the idea that people don't want to date is really just them explaining they want guaranteed outcomes. And that's where you get the issue. Like it's a real problem with how the expectations people have of dating and the way that they approach dating. That leads them to come to that conclusion. Oh, just dating sucks. I'm done with dating. But that's not really a practical thing. You never know when you're gonna meet somebody that you think is super cute, or somebody that's just gonna blow your mind or be really interesting. So to just say you have just a no dating policy is not really realistic for anybody.
Well, let me say this though, Terry. I think a lot of people are just extremely jaded. I mean, you know, I do know, just even growing up with people, males and females, that they may have had a couple of circumstances or situations that weren't the best, or maybe they got their heart broken, or look, somebody may have robbed them, cheated them, whatever the case may be. And they've kind of been like, you know what, I'm just going to be to myself. I'm not going to do this anymore. But is that really healthy?
I personally don't think so. You know, just having an attitude where you're just making the assumption that everybody's going to be like the people from your past doesn't seem like a wise way of approaching things. As far as people having a bad experience and cutting it off, a person can have a bad job and they won't say, I'm never working again. You know what I mean? Like they'll still do what they have to do to make it work. And relationships are about compromises. You have to be able to work through issues together. You know, it's the struggle or the conflict to go from an I mentality to a we mentality, and actually genuinely put your resources to the middle of the table to be used as both of y'all see fit. You know, that just getting to that point is very problematic for a lot of people, because a lot of people come thinking about what they can take for the table.
Right.
They want to know how much money you got to be able to pay for stuff. Like, so we see a lot of that type of mentality where people portray dating as, if the man pays all your bills, everything will be all good. Like, that's not realistic either. Because if that was the case, billionaires and millionaires wouldn't get divorced, right?
Right.
If all it took was a man paying all the bills and paying everything, they'd get in one. These men been paying everything for decades, and they still have regular people issues.
I was going to say, because I know a lot of people that are married to people that can really afford any and everything they want, but I find them to probably be the most miserable people I know. They're not really satisfied. Well, I married him because of money. I married him, you know, because
what happens though in that situation, when you date somebody primarily for money, you kind of change the value dynamic of the relationship. If you dating somebody that's rich and you coming to them about money, well, that's something they have abundance of. What they don't have abundance of is time, attention, concern, etc. The stuff that really matters. So if you think that him spending $3,500 on some Gucci shoes means he loves you, when that's all he buys for $3,000 shoe, then your perception of value is the problem. You know what I mean? Like, so, but those people that think like that don't want to hear that side of it.
Okay, but now let's look at this. I'm older than you, have been around the block a few times, but your demographic, you guys came up very materialistic. It was all about, I mean, let's look at Destiny's Child. Let's look at all these, you know, pay my bills, what can you do for me? I need to be down, I need to be Gucci, ain't nothing going on but the rent. That was the tail end of my era. But we've always said to people, if you don't have the ends, then you're not going to get in. And so I think that has caused a great dividing our relationships?
You're right. I've heard that mentality has always been around. The idea of having a sugar daddy, or what's the term, the sugar baby.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
Well,
so,
however, you know, we on this show we accept agave, we accept Splenda. Look, just as long as you got a little sweet in you and, and a little currency you might want to push off on us, we accept all kind of forms of sweet on this show. Okay.
Well, see, and so that idea that money is the key to being able to attract women, right? That's that simple knowledge right there is how the F-boys and all men are able to formulate their dating strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So what do the husband and father material men do? Okay, I'm gonna put myself in a position to be able to pay for stuff and to provide the type of lifestyle women want without having to sell dope, without having to risk my life to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my intelligence. I'm gonna create a business. I'm gonna get a career that puts me in a position to ride a foreign and wear diamonds and go to the club and buy sections. But I don't trap for a living. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the difference. Men adapt to what they see women want. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
That's why even men that don't have a pot to piss in are able to consistently get time, attention, and sex from women.
Interesting. All right, if you guys want to join us on this conversation, 312-374-8130, 312-374-8130. We've been doing a lot of studies and surveys on the show, and that's kind of how you guys ended up here with me that night, that, you know, like, men who don't have any money really don't want to date or be in a relationship because, you know, again, you got a chick, the martini's $15 a piece. You know, you eating the appetizer and all that. A lot of guys.
I don't think it's the finances that make men not want to be in relationships necessarily. Men in general don't want to be in relationships because of what it entails. Their experiences with women over a long period of time let them know that they are able to get their needs met by casual dating situations.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having to put a woman in a position where her thinking, decisions, and behavior can impact you, really. You know what I mean? Most guys will shy away from that. That don't mean that they don't care about a woman. That don't mean that they won't do things for a woman. But you can do stuff for a woman as a casually dating her.
Really?
If I'm casually dating a woman and her alternator go out and I want to cash out for $250, ain't I do it?
You can. You really can.
Right.
And now, would you do that just out of the goodness of your heart, or are you fixing that alternator hoping she jumpstart your kickstick, your kickstart?
The type of men that are successful with women don't have to do things they don't have to use ultimatums or gimmicks to get sex or attention.
They don't.
They struggle with only sleeping with one woman. So they don't have to try to trick you into giving them some or do something just to. That's what men that struggle with women have to do. Men that have the means and live the type of lifestyle that women want to be a part of, they don't have to use money to attract women. Women are attracted to just having conversations with them. That's why it's the coworker that falls in love, or the women that just know him, know of him. Everybody that knows him sees him as husband and father material for a reason. It's how he carries himself. He's respected by other men. Other people, like when a man can present an authentic version of himself and still get those type of results, then he's going to be successful no matter where he goes. So he don't have to do stuff like that. If he does something for a woman, he's not doing it with he's not buying you a drink hoping you sleep with him. He got women he can hit up to sleep with that night if he wanted to.
You've been told, you've been served, he done told y'all. There you go. So, I mean, if you're trying to go out on a date, figure out what's going on. When we come back, Terry, I want to find out, how can we stimulate people to even just ask people out on a date? You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't even do it anymore. People were going to church at one point to meet somebody. They were going to libraries, book clubs, all that. But nowadays, you know, I don't know if the internet has been the reason.
That's a big reason. I mean, we don't live in a society where the library's gonna maintain people's attention for a long period of time. Unless you two college students and y'all studying together or something like that, that's not generally where two people are going to just go in a lot of cases.
Well, y'all can meet me by the Dewey Decimal System. I'm just telling you. Meet me by the card catalog. I think that's so romantic. You're listening to Real Talk, Real People. Well, I'm going to meet you at the library. No, never mind. I'll meet you somewhere else. We'll be back in just a moment. 21 after the hour, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. You're listening to Real Talk, Real People. I'm your host, Chat Daddy. It's the Thursday night edition of your favorite entertainment magazine show here at VON, where we talk about everything. Yes, we do. You already know that. And it's your favorite time of the day. It would be happy hour. Yes, yes, yes. From 6 to 9 p.m. We do open premium bar. Here's the only catch. It's BYOB. That's all right, because you can drink what you want, how you like, when you like. Thank you, Thirst Future. Just as long as you have a refreshing, tasty beverage. For those of you that are at work, I ask that you continue to do enough work that you're able to keep your job. Keep listening to Real Talk, Real People. Hello to all the City of Chicago workers who are able to sneak and listen or, check in on me through your earbuds and all that great stuff. I really do appreciate you guys, and you're doing a great job keeping our city where it needs to be. Keep it clean and functioning well for everybody. That's my favorite song by Lloyd. It really is. Girls all around the world. It's Relationship Thursday. Our relationship expert tonight is our good friend, Mr. Terry Durant, a native of Houston, a Houstonian. Brother comes to town quite a bit, and he always hangs out with us when he's here. And so, Terry, one of your followers asked the question of when should a woman shoot her shot at a man? If you old school, grandma said wait for a man, he'll approach you. Only fast women talk to men and approach men, but I guess you have a different thought about this.
Yeah, from a male perspective, your strategy or your goal is to try to figure out which women want you as efficiently as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't necessarily think a woman needs to shoot her shot at a man. Like she don't, hey babe, give me your number. If you got to do that, then he's probably not interested or he's not available.
Mm-hmm.
But all a woman really has to do is show active interest, flirt, smile, like things that they naturally do. Like don't go shy, don't turn away, one thing to really let somebody know that you're interested in them is a smile and some head nodding.
Smile and a head nod.
When you, from a male perspective, if I'm checking a woman out, I'm not trying to be shy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to let you know, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So when you look at me, I'm giving you the nod. I'm letting you know that yeah, you're the one I was checking out.
Gotcha.
So you doing something like that just to let somebody know that you're interested, giving a compliment. Like, I see you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see you, curly hair or whatever the case might be. Let them know that you notice them.
Okay.
That's really all you have to do.
Now, Terry, what's the difference between letting a woman know you notice them or a woman letting a man know?
Well, men have to shoot their shot.
Well, here's the deal, and you not come off as a creep or a weirdo, whether it's a man or a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like the head nod, the smile, that type of thing.
You should always start it with a conversation.
Okay.
If you struggle with having a conversation with a person face to face, then you may need to try online dating. But if you struggle with a person one-on-one, you're going to struggle with dating, period. Because even if you're a whiz kid online, once you get her alone and she's around you, you can't be sweating or nervous
people like that.
So if you can't really be yourself when you're around somebody one-on-one, then I don't really see how you could ever expect to have a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's about. It's merging your life with somebody else's if you get to the marriage and family aspect of it. So
we just trying to get them to date.
But a lot of people go into it trying to get a guaranteed outcome, like I mentioned at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They try to. I'm looking for marriage. You know what I'm saying? They want they want you to verbally let them know that you're looking for marriage too. And then, even without speaking or really discussing it further, they'll be under the assumption that we're moving towards marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it's that type of mentality that leads people to a lot of disappointment and heartbreak.
But then I really do think after a certain age that all men should automatically know that, let's say a woman 35, 40, years old, she definitely is going to want to get married. Like that's a gift.
That's well, a lot of women, some women don't want to get married, but you're right. The assumption that a woman is going to either want a ring or some kids is very likely if she's in her mid-30s.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man is if a man is honest about what he wants or how he feels, that's all he can do. Men can't account for the unspoken things women you know, the unspoken expectations or their unspoken rules or
Mm-hmm.
they mental calendar that they don't share with you.
Mhm.
Like, that's her problem.
Mhm.
Like, and just because she thinks he should know within 18 months whether you want a ring on it or
Oh,
he should
yeah.
know, like, that's what you think.
Right.
He's not under any obligation to put a ring on you just because you were be able to trick him for 18 months or you were able to put on a good face. You know what I mean? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
the men that got their lives together are not pressed for kids and marriage. They view those things as optional because they know that at any point in life they'll be able to attract a very attractive woman that brings a lot to the table. Whether he's 30, 40, 50, 60. You know what I mean? Like, so so if he's able to be like I said, he ain't trapping on the corner, he ain't robbing banks, he ain't doing something that's illegal. If he has a maintainable lifestyle, and every time you see him he's fly, and every time you hug him he's cologned up, and every time you see him his line is fresh to death. Like, if that's him, that's not he just did that for your date night.
Okay,
If-
so now somebody texts me and said, where the hell is these men at? Because these women are looking for the man that's cologned up and fresh line. That's what a
They're
lot of
all
women are
over.
saying to me, though, that they're having a hard time finding them type of dudes.
They're having a hard time finding those type of dudes that are willing to give all that up to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
Those type of men are everywhere. Majority of them, or the ones that want to be in relationships, are usually taken.
Yeah,
They never struggle to find
I
a woman.
agree 100%.
Every woman they date is pressing them. What are we headed? You know, like they have those conversations with every woman that they get romantically involved with.
But I do think that the reason why so many women have just stepped away from relationships is that most of them like, look, I don't have time for this woulda, shoulda, coulda with it. You know, really, I think every guy should go into a relationship knowing that yes, this woman eventually does want to be your woman, your wife, fiance, all of that. In the majority of the cases,
That's a major part of the problem.
okay.
The dating, a lot of people get dating mixed up. The whole purpose of dating is to figure out if you're compatible with somebody or not. You just want to enjoy the process.
Okay.
Hey, we met at a party or whatever. Oh man, you seem cool. You cute, whatever. Let's exchange numbers. We talk. Hey, we got some mutual interest. What you doing Friday? I'm not trying to verbally commit. I'm trying to see how we are when we kick it, when we hang out. And so the people that have successful, healthy relationships, they spend lots of time, several dates, several conversations, talking about different stuff. What about this? What you think about this? You read that article you heard about such as. They discuss current events. So that way they're gauging your thoughts and your perspective on these things. How do you feel about parenthood? Man, I can't believe you find out what somebody really cares about and what they're passionate about if you date effectively.
You know, this is something that I was having this conversation with somebody else about. I'm a firm believer that when you do finally meet somebody, even before you make a final commitment that we are going to be together forever, you should actually experience 4 seasons with that person. So if you meet somebody, let's say in the fall, and you get around to summertime and find out that person hates to go out in the summer, they suffer with heat rash all the time. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Right. Things that you just don't really even discuss or talk about. Here it is, it's summertime. You're like, oh, babe, let's go to the beach. Oh, I can't go out in the sun. And those are things that I think help mess up a relationship. People are too quick to identify themselves as a couple when you really should spend more time trying to get to know each other.
Yeah, you get a lot of people that end up in relationships that really ain't compatible long term.
Mm-hmm.
They caught up in the chemistry and the newness of it. Like, whenever we get something new, it's exciting at first.
Mm-hmm.
Them first couple weeks of the new car, you pushing every button, turning every knob, but now you're not doing that 7 months in.
No.
Like, so everything has a impact when it's new, when you're learning it, when you're experiencing something. And what happens when you first start dating somebody, most people put in extra effort to avoid conflict.
That's right.
So you're not likely to argue. You're not likely to get cussed out or disrespected or something like that. Most people are trying to put on a good face.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I mean by being able to be authentic.
All right. Well, let's run a commercial break, and I'm just telling y'all, you date me, cuss me out first. Let's get it over with. Cuss me out, let's get it all done, because then that allows me to know how wacky you are to begin with. I was right to begin with. You're listening to Real Talk, Real People. Just go on, cuss me out, get it over with, and then let's go have some crazy sex. I'll be back in just a moment. 35 after the hour, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM WVON. You're listening to Real Talk, Real People. I'm your host, Chat Daddy. It's Relationship Thursday, and that's my girl Lizzo. She said you better blame it on the juice. Well, you know it's happy hour, so a lot of you all can blame it on the juice, because you should have your favorite beverage. We don't care what it is. And if you're at work, hey, continue to do enough work that you're able to keep that job of yours, but keep listening to Chat Daddy, Lizzo, and our good friend, Mr. Terry Duran. He's here tonight talking about why dating sucks so bad. And so a lot of his followers and my followers have been chiming in on social media platforms. And this is my girl Lizzo, and I love her. But Lizzo is one of them entitled chicks. And so a lot of people feel, you know, a lot of these women are entitled out here. Like a lot of these women, hey, and so why so many of these sisters out here feel entitled, brother?
Because they get told that they deserve these things. That a man, you know, they see fairy tales where the prince is just showering women with gifts and doing all these type of things to garner their favor and their attention. And there are guys that buy into it as well. You know, the guys that make illegal money or have money to blow are like, oh, okay, well that's the easy way to get women to do whatever I want. All right, well, I want 3 of y'all. I want 5 of y'all.
Yeah.
Like so we kind of live in a society where it's kind of a status of success for a man to be able to afford to do the, you know, splurge on multiple women or whatever the case may be. I've always had a major conflict with that. I was broke growing up or whatnot. Not that I didn't have enough money to do my thing or whatever, but I never understood why men would do that if you can get attractive women to give it to you for free. And so,
why buy that cow?
Yeah, well,
why buy that cow? Why buy that cow when you get all that milk for free?
Yeah, well, I think that kind of people use that when they're talking about commitment or marriage. But I just mean like spending money or using the direct money to get to women. Like, let me take you shopping. Let me take you on the shopping spree. Like, that doesn't let you know a woman really likes you. You know what I mean? Like, so when you attach financial benefit or let me go buy you a car, what woman's gonna say no to that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you say, hey, let's go to the Lexus dealership. Any chick except a chick that already got a rich dude, almost any other woman is gonna be receptive to that.
Right. You can't impress me by
that. Don't make you a
pimp. Right.
That don't make you know that. Now you can brag about how a lot of those guys just like to be able to brag about how much money they make.
Right, okay, that makes good sense. Let's go to the live line and talk to our friend Vin tonight. Good evening, Vin. How are you? And welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm doing all right. Good evening to both of you. And,
good evening.
What's up?
Thank you. I've been doing this dialogue. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The last words y'all said really so true. That's the reason why I came up with this philosophy in 2014. No sex, no spending money on each other. Let's see if we can build a friendship. And I'll tell you, there were 37 women that approached me from that time. I ended up with none of them because most of them were ready to have sex. And I'm going to only maybe one day.
Really?
Yes.
So you came up with a whole campaign of no sex and no what? No spending no money?
Don't spend no money on each other. Let's see if we can build a friendship. That's right.
So now, who would pay for the dates when you go out? Was it you that was paying for the dates? Were the women paying for the dates?
No, I told you pay your way and I pay my way. And only a couple of them actually went along with it. But their biggest thing up was me. They wanted to have sex. I'm like, no, I want to get to know you. And one particular one, I'm glad I got to know her because she did believe in from behind me. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
To your guest. I hear what you're saying. I respect you about saying that women, at least the women you say, tend to be picky. I'll tell you, the ones I come across, they allow them to just grind and somebody don't do it anyway. Or you be the third wheel or number 4 in line. I'm
Yes, yes, yes.
I can't stand
Get me right.
uh,
Yeah, right. A lot of people can't stand, humidity, heat, temperature, all that. Right.
exactly. And the one thing I find is that people simply just trying to be a showman. A lot of these women out here are not used to a real showman, and they're not used to a man laying out that slate and letting you know what's up with them. Because one of them, she wanted to give
Yeah,
me
that's true.
something that she sent her friend to me, like, hey, my girl said you ain't moving fast, but she ready to give it to you. And I'm like, no.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. And you're a man with discernment. I mean, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't think that men
Yeah, that's
actually
got that
yeah.
exception. Most
Yeah.
guys are not gonna be there.
Right. But you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people out here like that nowadays because really men are starting to value themselves more. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they got a little bread and that little age on them or whatever. Look, I'm a commodity out here. Well, Vin, we appreciate you calling in tonight. Keep listening, okay?
Thank you, appreciate both.
Oh, pleasure. Absolutely. I mean, it depends on what age you are and all of that. Because the way
Yeah,
I look at it,
you're right. Because I was saying, man, I don't know very many guys that are gonna take that approach. Where, I mean, I don't even think a majority of women. If you offer to tell women, hey, we just gonna go Dutch on everything, and we're not gonna have sex like that, I don't think that's really an effective way to date.
Now, let me tell you what's so funny, because this is an upcoming story that we're going to do on the show, but I got a report today saying that millennials, they look at dating differently now, and that they believe in going out on dates Dutch. Like, instead of maybe the guy paying for everything or whatever the case may be, that a lot of these millennials nowadays are like, hey, let's go Dutch, let's do things a little bit differently. Yep, dating tips for the broke millennial. And it is saying that the rules have changed quite a bit, that when it comes to paying for the first dinner or first date, millennials are choosing to go Dutch until they can better decide whether or not you're right for each other.
I can understand it. Society's a lot more expensive now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. It makes sense. It's not like people, especially youngsters, if you 19, 20 or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
your income is not really going to be in line with what it takes to live that lifestyle you see on your timeline.
Mm-hmm.
To eat at them restaurants with the square plates. And,
Right.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
that,
Like,
right.
yeah,
Yes.
with all the fancy drinks and
Yes.
all this extra
Yes.
stuff. And,
Right.
Like, yeah, it's cool to see people doing, the party at 10 and, what I'm saying? Like, but that stuff costs money.
It really does.
And there's a reason that you see celebrities and athletes and rappers and this type of people doing it. You don't see normal people just generally doing that type of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
except for special occasions.
Right.
But a lot of people don't. They get this mentality where they want to live a lifestyle that they can impress other people with,
Mhm.
and that creates a problem within itself too.
I believe that. I believe that's what has probably stopped so many people from wanting to date because, they want to really be like the Joneses or the celebrities. You're right, like that they see. And really, I'm one of those people that you give me $40, I can probably have the best date you've ever been on, and we would have a great time. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
lot
what
of people,
it's about, though.
Yeah.
But see, I tell people, man, you can have a great date anywhere. You can be sitting in a car talking to somebody at their grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? And have an awesome day.
Mhm.
Like, it's because it's really about one-on-one time with that person.
Mhm.
And if you're attracted to just being around somebody that you are attracted to, flirting, making little comment, little inside jokes, little sexual like that type of stuff entertains you for a very long time. And for most guys, as long as the situation is progressing from platonic or we just met and we are progressing towards romantically involved or having sex, that they're cool with it. And even if it never becomes a relationship, most men are not going to look at it as a failure or they're not going to be hurt over it. They're going to be like, man, it's cool. We hooked up a couple times. I had fun. And they'd be willing to hook up again if she was down for it. A lot of women will look at that from a negative.
Yes, they will. Most women are not going to go with that unless it's the type of chick that she does like to, and there's nothing wrong. We don't judge anybody on this show. If you like to have you several dudes, we hope that you protect yourself. We hope that you get tested regularly. We get that. But for the average woman that want her a good MAN, She want a man that if she give them cookies up, she expecting that man to want to eat out of that cookie jar forever.
And that's, I think that's part of the problem.
Look, I done stumped you.
No,
right.
It's the expectation that they place on sex. It's drastically different than the motives men have for sex. Men go into sex wanting to give and receive pleasure. Man, she's cute. I want to see if I can do this. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like they're curious about what it's gonna be like. They're not, I hope we be together forever. Like that's not what men attach to sex. So if a woman is giving sex with the hidden motive, that I'm gonna give him these cookies, he's gonna follow. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not fair. Like these are the same women that say that they want a man to be honest. Tell me where we really stand. Tell me where we. Are you being transparent? Are you telling him, hey, I'm about to do this so that I can gain leverage? Those are the exact same women that will get it. That will, if a man does commit, they use sex and treat it like a reward or penalty system, because that's how they view sex.
All right, let's go to this live line and talk to our friend Tracy. Good evening, Tracy. How are you? And welcome to the show. I'm sure you got feedback you want to add to this.
I have a question, Fat Daddy. Nice to hear you.
Hey.
Okay. On a first date, what would be a good first date with someone?
Oh.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, okay. In my opinion, if you drink, you could go to maybe a wine bar, you know, someplace where you're not getting trashed and smashed, but at least you know can sit there and have a glass of wine. Coffee bar is always a great place because there's no alcohol no alcohol involved in that. We have beautiful parks in our city, so you might want to go to a public park, you know, come downtown or maybe a park in your neighborhood. Do not invite people to your house. Do not, you know, do that. But I don't know. I don't think church is the place anymore like it used to be. We don't have bookstores like we used to. So, but any place that is conversation driven, it's hard in a club to really talk to somebody.
Yeah, you don't want to be at somewhere with like loud music or whatnot. You don't want to do a movie date.
Right, because you need to be quiet.
Yeah, the movies is a bad date unless you already know the person. But you want to be somewhere where y'all can have one-on-one time. Preferably, you know, somewhere where like y'all can express your mutual interest. Y'all both like to bowl, go bowling. Y'all both like golf, go to Top Golf. You know what I'm saying? Like do something. If you can do something where it's there are other people around, or hey, I'm going to a get together, my friend's having a such and such party, or those type of invites where you're with somebody and there are other people around, those can go really well. It's awesome.
I agree. I think that would be really, really good. All right, so move on. Thank you, Tracy. We appreciate you so very much. Let's talk to Brother Ball real quick before we have to run. Hey, Brother Ball, good evening and welcome to the show. How are you?
Yo, I love the show.
Thank you.
You know why?
Why?
Because I don't tell you what I'm doing, but I'm having a libation, right? I always smoke my libation, you drink my libation.
Yay!
That topic is so great and crucial, right? Now what the brother just did was, I want to say, partially true, but because I am a man, right? What we look for is sometimes it's easy money, right? If we put in some work, now let's just talk about this from a man's perspective for a minute. We put in the work, right? Everything in this world that's based upon you getting some is based on that woman. So what do? You have to have the car, number one. You have to have the clothes. You have to be looking like something. So you got to get a haircut. You got to have a nice outfit on. Your car got to be looking good, smelling good, with gas in it, because then you're already coming out on the average.
What?
Coming out of his pocket on the average day before he's fixing to raise up.
That's right.
$300, $200. If he's on a level that even if he's on a cheap level, okay, he got to go get some vodka vodka. He got to put 10 in the tank.
Right.
You gotta go get the smoke. He's still out in pocket $50 just on a cheap day.
Heller.
In a hotel room or whatever. So we always in a deficit. And at the end of the day, she can still have somebody that she can call that can come and pick her up when we have to drop her off, and she say, well, you know, my baby's sick, or my mother can't watch the baby no more, so you gotta take her home. And you gotta drop her off, you can spend your money, right? You can
Right. Right. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow. Well, Flo, now that you consider one of my family members, the next time that happens to you, I don't care what time of night it is, you just call my phone, text me first, and let me know that that situation happened. Call my phone. I don't care if it's 2, 3 in the morning. Soon as I answer, give her the phone, and I'm gonna say, "You dirty hussy." We'll be back in just a moment. We'll be right back.
He's charming.
Yeah, you get finesse out
Right.
If that kind of goes back
I'm
to
so serious.
I believe it. I believe it. I done had a lot of guys.
guys
Right.
chime in and tip you right before you went to him.
Right, I believe that. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I really do. Yep. I do believe
And I'm
it.
like, and it's like, what's the, you know, for a
Yeah,
guy
you gotta
it's like,
make
you know, if I
sure.
want to take you out, it's like, you
Mm,
can tell, when you take a chick out, you can tell everything about it. You can tell what her daddy did and didn't do,
Right.
what her exes did and didn't
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
You can tell, like, oh, ain't nobody ain't never did nothing for you. So now you're so thirsty, now you want me to do the past. You wanted me to make up for the past 10 guys that never did nothing for you.
I believe that.
And this one day. Oh, no.
Dirty hussy. Right.
I'm serious. It's-
Right.
it's
And
crazy.
you gotta be, one of the hardest parts about being a real man is being able to tell a chick no. Like,
And I'm learning that. As I'm at
being able to
28
tell a
years
woman
old,
no, and being able to criticize a woman about her thinking or behaving.
without putting her down.
I
Without
mean,
putting, you know,
yeah, they gonna say you bashing them or whatnot, but if you can't do those two things, you're never gonna be able to have a healthy relationship. Like your relationship with your partners. If your partner did something that was out of line, you able to be like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like you can address it and confront it without it ending the relationship.
But with a woman, as soon as you tell her, yeah.
and I mean, and that's one of the biggest issues in my last relationship. Nobody would never want to hear, like, you don't want to hear your shit stink.
Nope.
Mom never want to hear your shit stink.
Nope.
And how you ever gonna clean it up if I tell you?
Right. But that's because you being nitpicky and you being all of that. Right.
That falls in line with the you need to accept me as I am, but you need to change
Right.
type of mentality.
Hey, do. 55 after the hour, right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. You're listening to Real Talk, Real People. It's your Thursday night show, and as you guys all know, every Thursday we try to do Relationship Thursday, where we try to bring you some of the most hilarious but just truthful conversations ever. Thank you to all of our callers tonight, to all the brothers who called in. You know, these women, they listen. Now they run into me in the grocery store, Chad, down for to cuss you out about that second. I'll be like, okay, girl, just hand me some celery, just you know. But no, we appreciate you guys so very much. You know, this is an entertainment show. And we just try to bring various ideas and opinions about things to the forefront. I love the millennial in there. He hot. Is that right? He's like, on behalf of the millennials, this is absolutely right. Yes, Brother Ball, you set it off, man. All of you guys. Terry Duran is here with us, up-and-coming relationship advice person of greatness, Houstonian. Oh, absolutely, brother. We've become good friends. And then he's also written 2 books. In closing, Terry, We got to get these people back dating again. We really do. I just, it used to be a time where I was invited to so many weddings, and it used to be a time that I was in so many weddings, and now I just need people to just even get them somebody to get them some. You know what I'm saying? So how can we just turn this whole dating thing back to love and good happiness and good energy?
I think we need to correct some of the toxic relationship killing behavior that we exhibit, and we need to shy away from the social media perspective on dating, because on social media you either see some happily ever after story, or you seeing a breakup and a cheating scandal, and so those are two real extremes that don't really represent what you're going to see on the average in the dating scenario. So if people can have a approach to dating where the goal is to try to make sure that I'm compatible with the person long term, and just enjoy the process, enjoy what you learn, enjoy what you experience, enjoy, you know what I'm saying, like enjoy the connections, the networking, etc., without placing so much of a burden on making sure it turns into a committed relationship, because it'll help manage your expectations so you won't experience as much disappointment, and it'll prevent you from putting yourself in a bad situation that is either difficult or impossible to get out of.
We have a wonderful lady, Miss Jerry Norrington, that comes on, and she started a single seniors group for people over 60, and she came to report to us after 3 years of having this group. She has several people, a couple that has gotten married, so we know you're never too old for love. I just think that a lot of us just have so many foolish ways that we just don't know how to get with each other to be in love. It was unheard. Your great-grandmother had your great-grandfather, and people were in relationships and marriages. Now, were they happy? I don't know.
But the perception of that is, a lot of people kind of have revisionist history. Well, they want a 40-year marriage like their great-grandma, but you put up another post in about a scenario, and you should leave them, sis. You should break up.
Right.
Like so how you got this 40-year goal, but every time something happens, you talking about break up or leave them, or he ain't worth being with. That's the type of stuff that you see.
Right, I agree with you. I do. It's a mess out here, and that's another thing too. A lot of these people living their lives on this social media. Every now and then I might pop my boo thing on there, but I ain't gonna put my boo thing on there all the time. Every now and then now I might have a little extra glass of champagne and put a picture of me and boo thing, but otherwise, no, I keep that separate.
Yeah, it's a balance, like with my situation, it creates negativity, like just my topic, just the way that the things I talk about, a lot of people take it the wrong way. Oh, you make it seem like you perfect, or you make
no, great guy, but you never do. Right.
But that's how they perceive it. When I talk about wives, successful women, well, part of it was luck. You know what I'm saying? Like curly hair,
no.
But you just got to use what works for you and maximize it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that get in their feelings over my post. If I post my wife, it comes with a lot of negativity.
Tell everybody how they can find you, follow you, reach you, all that good stuff.
You can find me at terryduran.com. That's my website. But my primary interaction is on Instagram at Terry Duran. That's TerryDeron. From my Instagram page, you can get access to my books, my podcasts, and all of my other content.
All right, give it up for our brother, Mr. Terry Duran. Great job tonight. He'll be back, I promise you all. We had so many phone calls, we could not get to them all. Thank you so much to our technical engineer and DJ and our millennial with the plan. Don't let them get you, millennial. Don't forget, hand them that phone. I got him. I got Dirty Huzzy. I got him. Thank you to our news anchor and love of my life, the incredible Miss Robin Lewis. Everybody's favorite Uncle Mal, Mr. Mallory Saunier. Don't forget to follow me, Chat Daddy, at therealchatdaddy.com. Help make this radio show become a TV show. You can help me. Go to therealchatdaddy.com. Inez